Okay, this is the first Explore workshop that I did in 2018, and I've written some notes. I'm just going to read it exactly how I wrote it. Biggest workshop ever. Fuck. 100 people plus. One deaf person. One person in a wheelchair. Explained the Bonobo experience really well. Gave eye contact to many people. That felt really good to be standing there and being confident in front of that many people. JOJO, a volunteer, and ROMAINE, a volunteer, were really amazing and supported what was a huge workshop for me. This crowd was sex positive, mainly heterosexual, but not all. The part where JOJO read the consent was great. That really took some pressure off me. The part where ROMAINE and JOJO were PANTHERS really altered the dynamics and shifted the space that was getting quite chaotic into one where we could organise and get people to focus on what was happening, because there was a threat within the tribe by Preditor. I realised that I imagine that I'm the most bored person, and I'm aiming to enable their experience to get better using different tools. The Panther changed the atmosphere and space for the people to deal with death and then build up their experience with one another. So that was at the time I wrote that, and then this is the morning after. Okay, Explore. So this was on the 28th of July. After my workshop last night, I was very overwhelmed. The workshop was full. I woke this morning with a sense of dread, partly because of little sleep, but also because my volunteer, JOJO, decided not to help me with the rest of the event. He felt that it was not for him. And it seems, despite his love of the work, he doesn't want to carry on with the Bonobo experience because he thought it was too loud and chaotic. I also received a very stern email from my course leader, Richard, who has given me many questions to answer, and most of which I can answer, but it's that arriving at the same time as a volunteer disappearing and doing a really massive workshop was very overwhelming. These answers need to be clarified for me to be able to feel safe carrying on the work. I feel like majority of it I can do. It's just the hotline they're talking about for participants after the event that I think is maybe a bit unreasonable and over the top, but there needs to be safeguards and ways for people to process afterwards. Removal of the workshop from the Explore site is impossible. This was a question that was asked of me, or this was something that was asked of me, to take my work down because it's affiliated with the university, so I need to clarify what is affiliated and what's not. So these are conversations I need to have with the university. And however, it ends tomorrow, so the it's out of date, and there's no real worry for them. I'm going to relax today and take it all in my stride. I will go in today and see if I can find a few people to interview. Now that's a really good point, because I managed to find 3 people to interview on camera, so that is quite essential for me to get that, and they said that I can put it on the internet, so that's going to be great for the data. It's going to be great for promotion. The large group, it was fascinating to see how the merge of the 2 tribes, taking them through 2 tribe situations, was incredible. So bonobos, when they're in nature and they meet another tribe, the females quickly from each tribe gather together and they consummate a sisterhood through GG rubbing, which is kind of genital rubbing of one another. The males in the meantime are getting quite angry because they've met another tribe, but they soon realise that everything's safe and everything becomes quite a sexual environment, and they hang out for 2 weeks. So we kind of merged two tribes with 100 people. I split them down the middle, did sort of 2 workshops kind of simultaneously, which took a lot of effort. But then there came a point where the 2 tribes met, and that was really interesting because the females met first and then the males integrated. I did get some feedback that it probably would have been better to have the females integrate for longer, build some sort of rapport with one another, and then maybe the males could come in and interact after that. It was good to sit back and give space to the bonobos for 20 to 25 minutes. Because of this, it helped people slowly build trust, and I could see that people were interacting quite freely with one another. Note, don't have the music so loud and say less jokes. Joking is because I'm nervous, but there's no need to joke too often. So I like to put a bit of humour in, but maybe not too much. And also, when the music's too loud, it gets quite more and more intense. And also when I'm doing the heartbeat for the birth set ritual, to have that quite low so that people can hear me. The fruit was great, and feeding each other was also brilliant, the way that they did that. To build different workshop, get fruit, so that's something else. So yeah, that is Bonobo's Experience Workshop 1 Explore 2018.